The Wise Men and Their Gifts, the story of the Magi, a Christmas story for kids, based on Matthew 2:1-12. Far away in the east, there were wise men who loved to study the stars. Every night, they looked up at the sky, watching and learning. One night, they saw something incredible, a bright new star shining like a jewel in the sky. "What does it mean?" one of them asked. Another wise man replied, "It's a sign. A great king has been born. We must follow the star to find him and worship him." The wise men quickly prepared for the journey. They didn't just bring food and supplies, they also chose very special gifts for the new king: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. "Why these gifts?" someone asked as they packed. "Well," explained one of the wise men, "gold is a gift for a king, showing his royalty. Frankincense is a perfume used in worship. It's a gift for someone holy. And myrrh is a special oil, often used for important ceremonies, even for burials. It shows that this king will do something very important for the world." Everyone nodded. These were truly meaningful gifts. The wise men began their long journey following the star. They traveled across deserts, climbed steep hills, and crossed rivers. The journey wasn't easy, but the star guided them night after night. Finally, they reached the city of Jerusalem. "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews?" they asked. "We saw his star and have come to worship him." King Herod, the ruler of Jerusalem, was very upset when he heard this. He didn't want another king to take his place. He called the wise men to a secret meeting. "When you find this baby," he said with a fake smile, "come back and tell me so I can worship him too." The wise men nodded and continued following the star. It led them to Bethlehem, and there, in a humble house, they found Mary, Joseph, and the young child, Jesus. The wise men knelt down and worshipped Jesus. Then they opened their treasures and gave him the gifts they had brought: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Mary and Joseph were amazed at the gifts and the wisdom of these men who had traveled so far to honor their child. That night, as the wise men slept, God warned them in a dream not to go back to Herod. Instead, they took another route home, protecting Jesus from harm. Questions to think about. Why do you think the wise men traveled so far to see Jesus? What do you think the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh tell us about who Jesus is? Have you ever given or received a special gift? What made it meaningful? Lessons from the story. Jesus is worth seeking. The wise men traveled a long way because they knew how special Jesus was. We can seek him in our hearts every day. Gifts from the heart matter most. The wise men brought thoughtful gifts. We can give Jesus our love, time, and kindness to others. God guides and protects us. Just as God guided the wise men with the star and a dream, he leads us when we trust him. Every time you see a star in the night sky, remember the wise men who followed a special star to find Jesus, the greatest king of all.